Hello everyone and welcome to GoldenNova's First Reacts, where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first, as long as I'm the first person you come to react to things first. More Blazing Dominion drops have happened, and this time, well, let's just say that the developers are doing a bit of clowning around. We just keep revisiting the concept of horrifyingly chaotic gestures, and as a fellow clown myself, as a Harlequin enthusiast, I can't say I'm upset about it. Let's see what they've got in store here with the Clown Crew. The first one is Clown Crew Whiteface. This was the thing that was on all the social media posts. I can't possibly make any other jokes outside of this one that haven't already been made. Bien Caviso, pretty fun name to say. Level 7 Light Illusion. Now this might be the crash out section. We'll see. Level 7 Light Illusion Effect monster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. You can tribute summon this card by attributing a face up. This card face up by attributing a Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, or Link monster. So we can get a discount if it's one of those special monster types. First effect, if this card is tribute summoned, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. Draw cards equal to the number of monsters tributed for its tribute summon. So we are still incentivized to tribute multiple monsters. And then negate the effects of face-up cards your opponent controls equal to the number of monsters tributed for its tribute summon. So either replace the tributes with the draws, or you get negates. That lasts forever, so that's pretty good. Second, once per turn during your opponent's main phase, you can, as a quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon one monster. This does not activate from the hand. It's not like that Primite level 6 monster. It lets us tribute summon a different monster. So it enables other things? Okay, that's funky. It is missing out on the key illusion text. This thing is capable of defeating things in combat. I don't know what their obsession is with mixing and matching what illusions get this or not. You might as well start putting in other types now, if you're not going to be consistent with putting that effect in your type. But, you know, that's just me. That's just my take. Apparently a hot one. Don't know why that is. Seems like that's the whole identity of the type, but putting that aside, funky card to start out with. What's our next one? Clown Crew Flare, a level 1 Light Beast Warrior Ritual monster with 500 attack and 1000 defense, and you can ritual summon this card with a Clown Crew card. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. First, you can reveal this card in your hands to add a Clown Crew card from your deck to your hand, then discard a card, so it gets some hand fixing. Second, if this card is tributed, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each of them once per turn. Shuffle all ritual monsters on the field and then the graveyards into the deck, or change an effect monster on the field to face down defense position. So, it fills up the graveyard, that's pretty good. But it's like Illusion of Chaos, where we just get to swap a card in our hand out with one of our on-theme ones. But that means that this doesn't have a on-field effect. There's no benefit to summoning this thing. That's... what? That's... okay. Alright. I guess maybe it's like the utility is if other cards in the theme want to be tributed, which seems to be a running theme. If our first monster has anything to go by, then this would be on the field so that we contribute it for the tribute summons. So maybe that's a reason to summon it. And then, like, it being ritual summon tributes other cards so it can enable those effects. That's what I'm going with right now. That has to be what it is. And then it recycles itself effectively. If it's tributed, you have to put all this monster and all your other rituals back into your deck, because they're in the graveyard now. Okay. Clown Crew Diablo, level 5 Light Beast Warrior Fusion Effect monster. So these are both Beast Warriors? I thought we were going to get different types, but one is illusion. This one is the next one. The next one's a Beast Warrior. Okay, Beast Warrior deck. It's got 200 attack, 1800 defense. It's a fusion monster. Level 5 instant fusion target. Requires 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. But this is a... So we have to use our base one for this, because other ones are Beast Warrior. Okay. First, if your tribute summoned monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict double piercing battle damage. That's a great game ender. That's a great win condition to have. If this card is tributed, you can activate one of these effects. You can return all fusion monsters on the field and in the graveyards into the extra deck, so that might be a running theme with all of them. Or set a Clown Crew trap card from your deck. I dig that. Okay. So this one actually has a functional ability while on the field, giving us a lot of potential damage. And we have another card that flips things face down, which is Flare. That puts monsters into face down defensive position. So in theme, we have ways of taking advantage of that. That's pretty good. Clown Crew Meteor, level 6 Beast Warrior Synchro monster, 600 attack, 1300 defense, requires generic material. I need a closer look. Okay, now I'm getting a big idea for it. They're a big, chunky lad. Happy to see that. First effect, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when your monster is tribute summoned. Cool. If this card is tributed, you can use one of the following effects, but you can only choose each once per turn. Return all synchro monsters on the field in the graveyards to the extra deck, or target a Clown Crew card in your graveyard, accept a copy of this card, and add it to your hand. So it's recycling. Neat. Clown Crew Devils, rank 3 light Beast Warrior monster. Xyz, 0 attack, 2000 defense, requires any 2 level 3 monsters as material. I'm seeing some of this card. I'm getting more of it. I get more of it as I look at it. That's pretty cute. Your tribute summoned monsters gain 1000 attack. Okay, so this makes our base monster a 3500 attack monster. With the double damage, that's pretty good. And if this card is tributed, we have our usual effect, either turn all Xyz monsters on the field and in the graveyards into the extra deck, or set a Clown Crew spell card. So we have 2 ways to get our spell and trap cards into rotation. Okay, so that's how... Those are our monsters. What do our support cards do for us? Clown Crew Rehearsal, normal spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Tribute 1 monster from your hand or field to add a Clown Crew Whiteface and a Clown Crew spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, except a copy of this card. Okay, so it's... You get rid of itself and the monster that you're tributing for our key monster and one of our support cards. That's not bad. And then second, you can banish this card from your graveyard to ritual summon a Clown Crew ritual monster from your hand by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed that monster's. Okay. So that's how we get our ritual monster into play, which is not so important for its effect, but rather what it can do to enable other things being tributed. Funnily enough, though, because it involves levels, we can't tribute devils for it. That's so funny. Okay. Clown Crew Matinee. That's pretty cute. Continuous spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, during your main phase, you can special summon a Clown Crew monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. That's going to be pretty important. Also, you cannot activate the effects of monsters special summoned from the deck and extra deck until the end of the next turn. Okay. Those are activated effects that are special summoned from the deck and extra deck, but when they're tributed, they're in the graveyard, so they are not summoned in any way, so those effects won't be shut off, and their effects on the field are continuous effects, so we don't have to worry about those being shut down. Okay, so that's why it's worded that way. Wow, that is super restrictive. Second effect, during the end phase, you can draw 1 card for each type of monster, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, Link, that were tributed this turn. Then you can set a spell or trap card from your hand. Okay, so that might be the reason why that it's so restrictive, because that is potentially a ton of card draw. All of these things do very well when tributed, so they're already making up for themselves, and then our Matinee is like saying, hey, also go ahead and get some free value out of it. That's pretty silly. Now, we haven't seen a Link or a Pendulum for these, so I assume at some point we will be seeing those kinds of cards in here, because Otherwise, we'd have to be teching them in, which isn't outside the realm of possibility, but it would be weird if it was including those monster types and they didn't decide to put one in theme. This one is pretty good. It gets all of our clown crews into rotation. We probably don't want to be summoning summoning Whiteface with this, because we need to be tributing it to get value out of it. But the component ones, yeah, pretty good. And while we're ignoring summoning conditions, we don't have to worry about not being able to summon them back because they have the ability to recycle themselves if we don't need their other bonus effect. Or heck, if you're going to do 2 of them in one turn, you do the one that gives you the bonus effect, and the second one that shuffles them both back into your extra deck. Maybe not shuffles, returns them, however the lingo goes. Clown Crew Malabarism, quick play spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, special summon 2 Clown Crew monsters from your deck and or extra deck, ignoring their summoning conditions. Also, you cannot activate the effects of monsters special summoned from the deck or extra deck until the end of your next turn after this card resolves. It's a double version of the continuous effect. This one just can be done every turn. Second effect, during your main phase of this card in your graveyard, except the turn that it was sent there, you can banish it and attribute 1 monster from your hand or field, then target 1 card on the field and return it to the hand. So that gets us an enabler with removal. Neat. Clan Crew Soiree. Wow, that's positively Rakdos looking in there. Normal trap card, activate one of these effects, but you can only choose each of these effects of this card's name once per turn, and you cannot activate the effects of monsters special summon from the deck and extra deck until the end of the next turn after this card resolves. First, special summon 2 Clown Clan monsters from your deck and or extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions, or add a Clown Crew monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a summon 2 or an add. Okay. And then second, during the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon a Clown Crew monster face up. See, I feel like that makes sense. Whiteface has that effect, but it makes sense for the trap card to have it too, to go along with it. We don't have another tribute. Like, are we going to be adding other tribute summons? Are we going to be adding monarchs in here randomly just to get more tribute summons going? To get some value out of it? That's very strange. Though I guess Whiteface can tribute summon anything, whereas it's only tribute summons Clown Crew monsters. Okay, last one. Clown Crew New Face. Dear Pwitty. Continuous trap card. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect. During the standby phase, you can shuffle 3 Clown Crew cards from your graveyard and or banishment into the deck, then draw a card. It's during the standby phase, so we can get a lot of we keep getting a lot of value out of this, and it's Clown Crew cards, so whenever we're banishing our spells and traps to get value, those are still getting put back into rotation. Second, if you tribute summon a monster, you can target other spell and trap cards on the field up to the number of monsters tributed for it and destroy them. And third, if this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the field, you can place it face up on your field. Ooh, so this has a way to get cheated out, so we can start getting value. I guess not kind of immediately. We have our spell and trap card destruction trigger. And we were going to have to wait until the standby phase to get the trigger for the shuffle and draw anyway, but we're enabling the second effect sooner, so I like to see that. What are ways that we're doing that is the question, because it can't be from the field, and we don't have things that send cards to the graveyard. It looks like discarding, right? Like Rehearsal tributes a monster. We can't get rid of the trap card to get the surge off of Rehearsal. So it doesn't seem like we have a way to handle that in Archetype, unless we have other cards that destroy. Of course, if we're destroying spell and trap cards with our effects, though, those are going to be on the field, and that would be the place where that doesn't operate. Okay, well, these cards are strange. Very, very strange. And it's interesting that they're releasing this right next to the new Power Patrons that we just talked about. For those of you who did not see the last video, The new Power Patron boss monster is a gigantic pendulum boss that can only be summoned by returning a Fusion Synchro and Xyz monster from your field and graveyard back to your extra deck. And this vomits out the Fusion Synchro and Xyz swimmingly. You don't even have to use the first effects that return them to the extra deck. You can just do the summoning condition to get it out there. And it would be summoned from the hand, which means that all of these conditions that stop the activated effects of monsters won't apply, because it only checks from the deck and extra deck for that. So this could combo with that in that way. I just don't know if it actually functions, because the Power Patrons don't have any tributing functionality by themselves, and that's the whole reason that you would play Clown Crew. So I'm wondering what tributing decks would work with this. You have to necessarily be summoning from the extra deck to trigger a lot of these, and a lot of Monarch cards restrict that or tell you not to have an extra deck at all. So you would just be playing raw Monarchs without any of the spell and trap support, which maybe that's enough, but I highly doubt that. But you do want to be playing something, because a lot of these just generically help tribute summoned monsters. What is it? Our Xyz monster gives a 1,000-point boost. Our Fusion gives double piercing battle damage. Meteor protects our on-tribute summoned effects, because our opponent can't activate cards or effects when monsters are tribute summoned. Oh, wow. Wow. I am honestly at a loss for words. I don't know what this is meant to... what this is meant to do or how it's supposed to play, outside of just using, its own core cards. But I wouldn't want to build a deck around this all by itself. It has some useful miniature utility. It's got some powerful draw cards. I wonder if there's a particular kind of theme that doesn't care about its deck and extra deck summonings enough to worry about this blanket restriction on a lot of cards. Oh boy, this doesn't turn into true Draco support, does it? It might. That kind of makes sense. There's a lot of tribute summoning going on there. The additional attack power would be pretty bonkers. And the theme doesn't restrict you from using the extra deck. And we've got continuous spell and trap cards right here to play along with some of their effects. So maybe it's maybe it's the true Draco Clown Crew deck. Good old TDCC. Sure. I guess that's the conclusions that I'm landing on here. What do you guys think? Does that sound like a feasible idea? Does it sound like I'm out of my gourd? And are there any other combos that you can think of that would go along with this? Any strange and interesting archetypes from Yu-Gi-Oh's past that just so happen to line up with the weird and wacky way that these cards are set up? Please let me know. I'd love to hear all your thoughts on it. And until the next time, Konami drops some juicy spoilers. I will see all of you next time. Bye-bye. Today's episode is brought to you by Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales and save 5% on your order by using the coupon code GoldenNova at checkout while helping out the channel. It was also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commanders, Upstairs Media, and the Critic of Innocence, Nebula Navigators, 3rd Dynasty, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Ancient Wizard, Andrew Newman, Battle Axe, Beastsman, Charlie Mercury, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Comrade, Eric, Frankie, Green Knight, Great Big Pillock, Groog, Hairbear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Carp, Marion James C. Picata, Meme King, Muse Clark, Neon Yami Nair, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Pat Boos, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, Redtail, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sonic 21 Blast, That One Dumbass and the Wizard Moose, Cosmic Crusaders, Anthrak, A Random Pup, Blaze Rider, Blitzwolf, Brandon Guzman, Chaz Ghost, Christopher Fuss, again, Cool Trainer Dark, Dr. Entity RIP, Eki Bullock, Edelweiss EN, Eva Padilla, Herbal D, Inblink, J.A. Flair, Julian Marquez, Kale the Dragon, Kryptonian Blurred, Lobomaru02, Manga Pages, Millennia Asta, Mr. Machina, Natiel Lee Alexander, Nicholas Murphy, Not Al Gore, Obsidian, Rhyme Kairos, Rogue Wolf, Seraph SG, Shizuki Nijimura, Stephen Huntsman, The Legendary Raven, The Queen of Time, Tiger X2476, Tristan O'Meara, Zaldreka, Zephrath the Rock Thing, and Zentha, as well as all the lovely Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, be a part of these credits and other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you would check out the link to my Patreon in the description or consider joining as a YouTube member.